Belle and Leroy were Grandma's mom and dad. Mom and dad.
Uh-huh. And I never knew my grandma, I mean, my father's family.
Oh, you did not,
Mm-mm.
because they had died before it was.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the same with me, Mom, because I never knew my father's, because Dad's mom was dead
That's
when,
right. Mm-hmm.
I never met either one of my grandparents on Dad's side. So
Well, I knew my grandfather, my father's, my husband's
father,
father.
you knew him
Mm-hmm.
because he was still alive when you met Dad,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was alive for a number of years, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So you knew him, you met him, and what do you think
Because at the old grocery store.
when you met Dad? That's where he was. Uh-huh. And did you like his dad?
Mm-hmm. He liked me.
I know he liked you, Mom. Did you think that after he was dead, were there some things about Dad, your husband, that reminded you of his father, or do you think he may have been more like his mother that you never met?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes did Dad ever remind you of his father?
No.
No, he was just his own person.
I think he was a father. I recall that it was in Arkansas that when his father died,
Mm-hmm.
I can recall that he put his head down on that desk.
Dad did.
And cried.
And he cried? So that he was really loved his father.
Because they lived together. And Aunt Faye raised him probably.
I know. And Aunt Myrtle too, a little bit.
Yes.
And then did you go to a funeral for his father?
Yes, and they had it in the house there in Langdon.
Uh-huh. And then so all of the kids were there? All of Dad's brothers and sisters were there? Probably they were all there, because they probably all still lived in Kansas. Where did Uncle Glenn go? He was the oldest, wasn't he?
Who?
Glenn. Uncle Glenn was the oldest.
Yes,
Did he go to Nebraska, or was he still in Kansas when his dad died?
Well, no, they lived still in Kansas.
Yeah, I think everybody was still in Kansas then, yeah.
They lived in Dodge City.
Uh-huh. What was his business, Uncle Glenn?
They lived in Clay Center. He worked for the government.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I can recall the funeral was at the church there in Langdon.
Mm-hmm. There were probably a lot of people there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the Christian church.
Uh-huh. Because a lot of people really liked him, I'm sure.
Because they always played cards down in the country store.
Mm-hmm. And what was his business? Was his name Thomas?
Thomas,
Dad's father was named Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
What was his mother's name?
Myrtle, I think.
Myrtle? So Aunt Myrtle was named after her? I can't remember her name, his dad's mom's name.
I think it was Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, I think it was Elizabeth too. And she died how long after he was born? 6 months or something?
Oh, shortly.
Oh, right, shortly.
Mm-hmm. And that's all I can remember.
Can you remember what kind of work his dad did?
Farmer.
He was just a farmer. What was he farming? What kind of crop?
Wheat.
Uh-huh.
I knew him before your father.
I know, because he was at the store. I'm sure he was so happy his son met you and married you.
Yeah. He graduated from college.
Dad. So when you met him, had he already graduated? Or was he just
Yeah.
about to graduate? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I was trying to figure out, or this man that lives here is trying to figure out what year Dad graduated. So if you got married, can you remember what year you got married?
I'll think of it.
Yeah, I know, it's a ways back. But I think that you probably got married pretty much in the same year or 1 year later after Dad graduated from college.
Yes.
Because then you went right to Arkansas after you got married, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you had to give up your car.
Yeah. Model T.
Model T. Uh-huh. What'd you do, give it to Grandma and Grandpa?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, those were the days, Mom. You gave up your car. You gave up your job, right? You were teaching. You bought the wedding ring. And you moved to Arkansas with your new love.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lived happily ever after, right?
Oh, yes. You made it.
Yeah, you made it work.
Glenn and Geraldine were there.
At your wedding?
Uh-huh. And wedding, and we were married in Wichita, and Helen's father, who was the minister.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And were there any kids by then? Did any of his brothers and sisters? So Jack wasn't born yet?
No,
No kids. Were Aunt Faye and Uncle Clarence married?
no,
Myrtle and John?
no.
But Glenn and Geraldine.
Uh-huh. Glenn and Geraldine.
And what about Lee and Helen?
No, they weren't.
No, so it was really just the oldest. The oldest was married. Yeah, we'll have to figure out what year that was.
Huh?
You have your marriage license somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Is it on the hanging? It's not on the wall. Is it on the wall there? That's Grandma and Grandpa, isn't it?
yeah.